Through a Marxist lens, this will be a discussion on who controls the means of production and the need to internalize costs that have been externalized. For feminists, I want to talk about the male domination of the theories that make up science and the policy and regulations that are supposed to be science-based. For legislative reformers, this is about a set of broken federal laws, the hope that is coming from some cities and states and market campaigns, from Canada and the European Union, and the need for more state and federal chemical policy reform that recognizes that environmental policies also have to be public health policies. For students and teachers, I've annotated my slides, and my colleague and collaborator, Rachel Berry, has our reading list for anyone who wants it. All of my simple slides are yours for the having, and it's all posted on womenshealthandtheenvironment.org. For the spiritual visionaries, I am talking about the need to restore the feminine, the goddess in all of us, no matter our current gender or species assignment, as Carolyn Casey would say, and about the science that is suggesting that if we want to protect the planet, all of the planet, we focus on what we need to do to protect 12-year-old girls. And for health and justice activists, this is about how chemicals are trespassing into our bodies, most dramatically in fence-line environmental justice communities, but everywhere, and how our health, our ability to learn, our ability to have healthy babies is being violated without our permission, and without the chemical industry being held accountable for the harm that you're creating in fish, in frogs, and in us. But first, I have to talk about Rachel Carson, who died in 1963 at the age of 56, but whose 100th birthday we celebrate this year. Rachel Carson wrote The Sea Around Us on weekends and evenings while she worked full-time to support her family as a biologist for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. After the Yale Review published a chapter of her book, I just lost my page, but I know this story. After the Yale Review published a chapter of her book, it got picked. She won the George Westinghouse Science Writing Award. Winning that award made people pay attention. She became a Reader's Digest condensed book, a Book of the Month Club selection, and then Wallace Shawn at the New Yorker published a couple of chapters, and the story goes that William O. Douglas, the Supreme Court Justice, read it, sent it to Jackie Kennedy, the First Lady, who gave it to her husband, who gave it to the 2 senators from New York State, and DDT got banned. We are learning from the new technology called biomonitoring that the chemicals around us are in us, that small doses once thought safe can do us harm, that exposures to chemicals are one of the many factors, diet, stress, access to health care, genes, infections, poverty, racism, that in a nonlinear but ecological mix can combine into chronic disease. But this new ecological understanding also gives us hope, because any stressor in this mix of stressors that we can reduce will allow more resilience and more health. So how do we do this? Well, we start with where we are. We start with how much we have siloed and hierarchically sorted and ranked ourselves. We quit focusing on the distinctions and start looking for the connections. We try to appreciate the feminine and the masculine in every one of us. We work from the ecological understanding that any stressor we can lift off makes us more resilient, so that any issue that any of us is working on that succeeds benefits us all. We let go of the fear that comes out as arrogance and find the courage to act like the respectful guests, as Yvonne Peter explained. We tell all the stories that explain on how what harms the fish in the Potomac or the rats in the lab are also going to harm us. We try to really live with the Bioneers idea that it's all connected, it's all alive, it's all intelligent, it's all relatives.